Greetings of the day, welcome to Overseas Admit. Have you ever spent 40 minutes writing an IELTS essay, feel confident about it, and then just receive band 6? You're not alone. In fact, one of the biggest myths about IELTS writing is that good English automatically means high score. But it doesn't. Every week I see students with excellent grammar getting stuck at band 6 or 6.5 because they don't understand what the examiner is actually looking for. The good news, writing task 2 is not about talent, it's about strategy. So in this video I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step system that band 7, band 8 and even band 9 candidates use. We'll cover planning, essay structure, body paragraphs, conclusion, common mistakes and also time management. So grab a notebook because this single video could help you change the way you approach IELTS writing. So let's get started. Before we talk about strategy, let's understand the game we are playing. Task 2 is the most important part of IELTS writing. Why? Because it carries twice as many marks as task 1. Let me repeat that. Twice the marks. So if you're spending equal time on task 1 and task 2, you're already making a mistake. In task 2, you will need to write an essay for at least 250 words within 40 minutes. Now, here's something many students don't realize. Almost every IELTS essay falls into just four categories: opinion essay, discussion essay, problem and solution essay, and advantages and disadvantages essay. Once you learn how each type works, IELTS becomes much easier. And that's exactly what we are going to do today. I want you to remember something. Examiners love essays that are easy to follow. They're checking hundreds of essays every week. If your essay feels organized, you're already making their job easier. That's why every band 7 plus essay follow the same structure. Introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and conclusion. Simple. No fancy tricks, no complicated templates, just a clear structure that works every time. Think of your essay like a sandwich. The introduction and conclusion are the bread, the body paragraphs are the fillings. And the filling is where most of your marks come from. So never spend half of your time writing an introduction. Now let's talk about the mistake that destroys thousands of IELTS essays. Students start writing too quickly. They see the question and immediately begin. Big mistake. Look at this sample question. Some people think governments should ban dangerous sports, while others believe people should have the freedom to choose. Discuss both the views and give your opinion. Now, here's my question for you. What type of essay is this? Can you identify it? This is a discussion essay. The words give your opinion are extremely important. Why? Because you must do two things. First, discuss both the ideas, and second, give your opinion. If you only do one of those, you'll lose marks immediately. That's why analyzing the question is the first thing every band 7 student does. So, a quick question for you. Have you ever started an essay and then suddenly thought, I have no idea to write next? If yes, that's because you skipped planning. Students often think planning wastes time. Actually, it saves your time. 5 minutes of planning can save 10 minutes of confusion later. Your plan doesn't need to be beautiful. It can be messy. It can be bullet points. Nobody sees it except you. The goal is simply to decide your ideas before you start writing. Think of planning like Google Maps. Without a route, you'll probably get lost. With a route, you'll reach your destination much faster. So, if you remember only one thing from today's video, remember this. Peel. This method alone can transform your writing. P stands for point, E stands for explanation, the second E stands for example, and L stands for link. Peel. So let's imagine your point is that dangerous sports should not be banned. Don't stop after writing one sentence. Explain why, give an example, and then connect it back to the question. This creates the depth, and the depth is exactly what examiners want. Most Band 6 essays make claims, Band 7 essays support those claims. So that's what exactly you have to do. Now let's talk about one of the easiest sections of the essay, the conclusion. And surprisingly, it's also where many students make unnecessary mistakes. Here's the golden rule. Your conclusion is not the place for new ideas. Imagine watching a movie where a new character appears in final minute and changes everything. That would be confusing, right? The same thing happens in IELTS. The examiner expects you to summarize whatever you have written prior, not to surprise. A strong conclusion does only two things. First, briefly explain your main summarization points, and second, restate your opinion. That's it. Keep it short, keep it clear, keep it simple, and move on. In fact, if your conclusion is longer than your introduction, that's usually a sign. Now, here's something every IELTS student must understand. The examiner isn't reading your essay, thinking, do I agree with this student? They are following a marking system, and there are four categories for that. First, task achievement. Second, coherence and cohesion. Third, lexical resource. And fourth, grammar. Each one is worth exactly 25%. So let me ask you something. How many hours have you spent studying grammar? Probably a lot. But grammar is only one quarter of your score. If your ideas are weak, if your structure is confusing, or if you don't answer the question properly, perfect grammar just won't save you. That's why smart students focus on all the four areas equally. So think like an examiner, not like the student. Alright then. This is probably the most important slide in the entire presentation. Because these mistakes are the reason many students stay stuck at band 6. So let's see how many you have made. Number one, copying the question directly into the introduction. Number two, writing fewer than 250 words. Number three, ignoring the part of the question. Number four, using informal English. Words like gonna, stuff, lots of, these are informal English words. Number five, starting every paragraph with I think. Number six, introducing new ideas in the conclusion. And last, number seven, ignoring the essay type completely. Now be honest, how many of these mistakes have you made? I guarantee that you're not alone in this. Let's play a quick game. Imagine you're reading an essay. Every paragraph starts with however, then another however, then another however. Sounds repetitive, doesn't it? That's exactly how examiners feel. Band 7 students use variety. Instead of always using however, try nevertheless. On the other hand, instead of repeating also, you can use furthermore, in addition to, moreover. The goal isn't to use difficult words, the goal is to sound more natural. Think of linking words as bridges. They help the reader move smoothly from one idea to the next. And the smoother the essays, they usually receive better scores. Now let's solve one of the biggest IELTS problem, running out of time. Have you ever spent 15 minutes on writing an introduction and then rushed for the rest of the essay? If yes, then you are not alone. Here's the strategy that I recommend. Spend 2 minutes analyzing, 5 minutes planning, then focus most of your time on the body paragraphs. Why? Because that's where most of your marks come from. Your body paragraph contains arguments, examples, explanation, and the vocabulary part. That's where the examiner decides whether you're band 6 student or band 7 student. And please always save a minute at the end. That's what I give advice to each and every student of mine. One tiny grammar error can sometimes be difference between two band scores. So at this point, some of you might be wondering, okay, but how do I actually improve? The answer is simple, not easy, but simple. First, read good English every day, like BBC, The Economist. Second, write regularly. Even two essays per week can make a huge difference. Third, get feedback because it's very difficult to spot your own mistakes. Fourth, keep a vocabulary notebook. But don't write single words, write collocations. For example, raise awareness, pose a threat, draw a conclusion, and finally, practice under exam conditions. Because IELTS isn't just a language test, it's also a time management test. So now let's put everything together. Imagine this question appears in your exam. Government should ban dangerous sports. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Most students panic, but not you, because now you have a system. You identify the question type, You plan your idea, you decide your opinion, and suddenly the essay becomes much easier. Notice something important here. We are not writing the essay yet, we are creating a roadmap. And that's exactly what Band 7 students do. They think before they write. A 5-minute plan can transform a messy essay into a clear and organized one. And that's what examiners love. So let's quickly recap. Before writing your next IELTS essay, remember these 6 steps. Analyze the question, plan your ideas, write a conclusion, use peel method in your body paragraphs, write a concise conclusion, and review your work before submitting. If you follow this process consistently, your essays will become clearer, stronger, and much easier to write under pressure. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us for more such videos. Thank you.